What's going on, guys? This is Dylan Graives. I am being joined by John Sutton once again today on WrestleRecap. This will be the Smackdown Recap. If you want to support WrestleRecap, you can like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below, tell us how we're doing. And with that being said, let's get into it. So right away, SmackDown kicks off showing us the draft war rooms. I thought it was pretty interesting with how deep they were actually going with this process, like showing the GMs sitting with their like trusted
quote-unquote advisors.
Yeah, like their trusted consultants for this. Paul Heyman comes on and tells everybody that Roman Reigns has declared himself ineligible for the draft because he doesn't want to take away the first round pick, basically.
Which is right.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not going to be around until most likely SummerSlam, I'm okay with this. Plus,
he'll be a shake-up star.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where he goes because he didn't get drafted with the bloodline, and I believe he's currently listed as a free agent. But
there's always a few of those.
Right. Like, I think Logan Paul is always considered a free agent, even though he's got the title. But nevertheless, we're also reminded that it's a new era during this, so that's a shot.
God dang it.
We're then shown that the NXT roster is watching all together at the Performance Center. They keep saying, who's next? And I made this comment before, but Goldberg's going to be real upset about the fact that everybody keeps stealing his line. Like, he's upset that some Japanese girl, Asuka, beat his fake undefeated streak by having a real undefeated streak. So he's going to be upset.
Super upsetty.
Oh, he's going to be big mad. Very upsetty. Because they're just stealing his line over and over. Like, it gets said so many times.
They probably know that he's mad, so they're like, know what? Let's just push it even further.
I like to think that following the interview he did where the shoot interview about how he was upset that they had Asuka break his streak right before he came in, even though his was fake and hers was real. And how everybody seems to be using the spear now. It's like, dude, you didn't invent the move. And your streak was fake. Shut the fuck up.
What's next? You get mad because someone does the jackhammer?
I mean, that probably, because the jackhammer is synonymous with Goldberg more so than the spear. But
bro, people do the Triple H is letting Ciampa do pedigrees and stuff. I mean, he let Seth do it too. But
they're playing with Ciampa. They're playing into the whole Regeneration X thing, but at the same time, they're trying to not do it. But then they go and do stuff like that. I talked about that in one of the other recaps that I did. I wish they would just decide if they're gonna lean into the Regeneration X or if they're not gonna. Because if they are, they need to just go all the way.
Can't go halfway.
Yeah. It's now time for the first segment with Corey Graves mediating the contract signing between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship match at Backlash in Lyon, France. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes both come down in what ends up being one of the more tame contract signings than what we're used to. AJ Styles. What's that?
I was going to say, kind of boring to me.
Well, I mean, it's nice to not have every single contract signing break down into a brawl.
Well, I'll let you get out the play-by-play, and then I'll give you what I kind of thought about it.
Okay.
More or less.
AJ Styles says that they got two Georgia boys about to fight, or about to mix it up for the first time for the biggest prize in the game. He shares the similarities of their journeys to the top of WWE, having to, for AJ, start in TNA and then go to Japan and finally land in WWE, where with Cody, he had to leave WWE, do a little bit in TNA, do some stuff in Japan, discover himself, reinvent himself, and then come back and be where he is now. AJ tells Cody that he learned a lot from Dusty, much like Cody did, of course. And then when it's Cody's turn to talk, he, of course, has to hit the crowd with the, "What do you want to talk about?" Cody talks about locker room respect. He says that the locker room respects AJ, and that it's not about winning the title, it's about keeping the title. Cody says it's not a dream match for him, but a must-win. And Cody goes in for a handshake. AJ stops and says that it was a beautiful thing to see Cody finish his story and win the championship, but it's a shame his title reign is going to end at Backlash. And then they shake hands, and AJ heads on.
My feeling about this whole promo was, are they trying to push AJ back off of being heel? I know they're not, but that whole segment just felt like two faces coming together and just talking about what's going to happen. And, after his rivalry with LA Knight, I was just kind of like, how are you going to go from this brutal heel to what I think is how a face would act? It just felt off to me.
Well, I mean, in this case, I think that AJ is more so taking up the role of a tweener, where he's kind of in between being a face and a heel. It's more so of a sign of respect for Cody Rhodes, having both of them been in Bullet Club, and where with LA Knight, they just don't like each other. So that's why you get the more aggressive, like drastic sides between the two. Whereas here, AJ Styles conquered that demon to earn this opportunity to challenge Cody, someone who he has respect for. And he did acknowledge that he has respect for Cody, but he has no respect for LA Knight.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, all in all, it's a new era.
No, we didn't say that again. Not yet, anyway. I'm sure it's going to come back around.
Not yet, but I'm saying it.
Yeah, but it don't count when you say it.
I'm still saying it.
That's fine.
You can't tell me how to live my life.
Think you can tell us what to do? Boom, boom. As Cody's leaving, Triple H comes out to have Cody help him announce the first draft picks. The first draft picks turn out to be Bianca Belair being drafted to SmackDown, Jey Uso being drafted to Raw, Carmelo Hayes from NXT being drafted to SmackDown, and Seth freaking Rollins. He was next. And Seth freaking Rollins being drafted to Raw. For a full reaction on the draft picks and how the rosters shake out, we will do a full-length video once the rosters lock. So from there, Carmelo Hayes comes out. Carmelo Hayes says that when they talk about who's next up, Goldberg's gonna be upsetty. When they talk about who's next up, when they talk about the hottest out, they don't call him the hottest out. They call him Carmelo Hayes. And the crowd responds with, "Whoop that trick." To which Carmelo responds that he already did, except he didn't. He lost. I believe 3 times in a row he lost. So,
big time.
Yeah. Melo says he heard a lot of Cody saying, "If you come for the king, you best not miss." And it's funny how it works, because when he shoots, Melo don't miss. Melo goes on to challenge Cody for tonight, and Cody accepts the challenge, saying that the fans, what do they even want to see him compete tonight? Of course, crowd goes nuts. What if he forgot his ring gear? Oh, that's right. He doesn't forget his ring gear. So the main event, Carmelo Hayes versus Cody Rhodes. It's not official at this moment, but it's one of those things where they don't say something like that and then it doesn't happen.
It just happens.
Yes, sir. We're then told that it is the LWO versus Legado del Fantasma up next as we head into a commercial break. When we come back, we have the match. It's Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee representing the LWO versus Berto and Angel. I don't know how the fuck they say it. It sounds weird, but it's spelled Angel, and it's Angel Garza. So Angel sounds like anal.
Fuck it. Put that in here.
Fuck it, I'm calling him Anal from now on. Berto, Humberto Carrillo, also a former running mate of Rey Mysterio from back when he was still new. See, the common denominator here is Rey. Yep. I'm just saying.
Yes, I know what you're saying. I smell what you're stepping in.
Yeah? But
I do.
Berto and Dragon Lee start the match. Dragon Lee gets a 2 off of a diving crossbody, but Angel tags in and stands on the ropes, causing Dragon Lee to fall out to ringside. I thought that was very clever, what they did, and it was kind of funny at the same time. So, Angel tags in, and Berto sends Dragon Lee, or basically Dragon Lee's coming towards the ropes to go off of them, and Berto looks out into the crowd, and Angel stands up on the middle rope and puts his hand over his eyes like what Christian always did. He's trying to look and see what Berto's looking at, causing Dragon Lee to fall through. I thought that was kind of funny and clever. It was a neat visual.
Yeah, it was definitely neat, I guess. I didn't know what they were doing at first, and then I saw them go out. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I thought it was clever. It was a funny little comedic element to the match. But so then that led us into a commercial break. When we come back, Rey gets the hot tag and hits a seated senton followed by a code red on Angel, but Berto breaks up the pin at 2. Rey tags Dragon Lee in and hits Angel with a 619. Dragon Lee then hits Angel with Project Dragon. Hell of a name for a move. And that gets the win. Also, not gonna lie, I 100% for the longest time thought that Dragon Lee was just Kalisto. Thought that Dragon Lee was just Kalisto with a new name and a new mask.
It's not?
It's not.
Don't do me like that now.
Well, now I have to cut this out. I was expecting you to know that already. I can't make us both look like idiots.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that Dragon Lee wasn't Kalisto.
But yeah, they were talking about something about the first time that Rey and Dragon Lee teamed up or something like that. And it's like, why are you guys lying? Trying to make it sound like Kalisto never existed before. And then I Googled it, and it's like, oh, no, these are two different people. This was just a case of the match meaning far less than the post-match. Because Santos comes out with Elektra Lopez, and he says that he is many things but a liar. He is not. I mean, clearly he's Yoda.
He is Yoda.
I am many things.
Liar, I am not.
But a liar, I am not. Santos says...
The truth we shall find.
Yes. Santos says that Elektra has finally tracked down the footage of Dragon Lee's attack, and that Rey is going to find it very interesting.
Dun, dun, dun!
Yeah, the footage reveals what everybody other than the LWO has basically known, just hasn't had full proof of. But obviously, it was Carlito that attacked Dragon Lee.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you ruin it for me? Oh, dude, I thought it was Ray.
Oh, yeah? You thought it was Ray, huh?
100%.
Yeah.
Common denominator.
I mean, Carlito attacked Dragon Lee because Ray didn't pick him to be the person to fight at Mania. So then,
Sound familiar?
with Dragon Lee out of the picture, Carlito's thinking that Ray's gonna pick him, and then instead he just grabs Andrade. So, like, Ray deserves everything that he's got going on.
True that.
But following the reveal that it was Carlito, they show on his face, and he just absolutely looks like a kid who just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. It's great. He looks he just looks like he's been caught red-handed, and it's great.
He's like, what? No, it's not me. What? What is this video?
Oh man, it would be absolutely hilarious if this comes back around and they could figure out a way to have spun this to be like Santos Escobar with an afro wig. I mean, it would never work because it was clearly Carlito. He's got a different build. He's just a bigger guy compared to the rest of them. But it would be absolutely hilarious if they could have worked this into somebody wearing an afro wig. Like make it be Dominic Mysterio in an afro wig. But they would, if they were going to do that, they would have done it very shoddily here.
Yeah.
So after Carlito looks like he had his hand in the cookie jar, he pushes Dragon Lee into Ray, knocking Ray down. He then hits Dragon Lee with a backstabber and flees through the crowd to lead us into a commercial break.
Damn, I want a picture in a picture.
Oh, fuck that. I don't even watch Picture in a Picture anymore. Following the commercial break, we have Braun Breaker coming out to absolutely obliterate Cedric Alexander, who's already waiting to die in the ring.
Squash!
Yeah. 13 seconds. That's how long it lasted, from bell to bell.
That's longer than me. Where are my short game kings at, huh?
Braun Breaker dropped the straps before the match even started. So normally when the guys run a singlet and they drop the straps, you know that business is about to pick up. This man was so intense. He dropped them before the match started. You knew it was game over. You knew Cedric Alexander was getting cut in half soon.
Bro was dying before he even died.
Oh, yeah. So, as I've said before, I think it's great that they are building Braun Breaker up by having him go against actual established talent instead of just local enhancement talent. In this case, I think it would have been better to have him take on both Cedric Alexander and Ashante Adonis. Since they are a tag team, he could have just taken them both down. And it would have just made him look even stronger. Because I don't know how many more weeks we get out of him just absolutely destroying a normal talent before he has to start actually putting on normal matches.
Yeah, I don't know.
Following the slaughter of Cedric Alexander, we have a flashback to the main event of last week. And then Nick Aldis comes out of his draft room and is confronted by Tiffany Stratton. She asks where her title match is, and Aldis tells her that his watch isn't set to Tiffy time, which she scoffs at. Like, how dare you?
How dare you not have Tiffy time?
Right? Aldis tells her that he was about to send her back to the back of the line, but someone gave him a better idea. So tonight she'll face Naomi again, with the winner getting a title match at Backlash. Tiffany asks whose idea it was, and then Bayley walks up with her ding-dong, hello, it was me ordeal from her old WWE Network show. that I think she was doing back during COVID or maybe even before that. Bayley says that it was her idea. And Bayley calls it a win-win because if Naomi wins, she gets the title match that she was cheated out of. And if Tiffany wins, she gets to find out what happens when you attack the role model.
The role model.
Yeah. Tiffany Stratton then invites Bayley to sit at ringside for her match so that she can see exactly what she's going to do to Naomi. And then we see Michelle McCool and Tori Wilson coming out of their respective draft rooms. Michelle McCool coming out of the SmackDown room and Tori Wilson coming out of the Raw room. And they are headed out to announce the next round of picks as we head into the commercial. When we come back, we get the round 2 draft picks. Your boy, Randy Orton, drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker,
He was next.
drafted to Raw. Nia Jax, drafted to SmackDown. And Liv Morgan, drafted to Raw. Again, full reaction will be in a separate video. Still no bloodline, though, which I found interesting. We then get a flashback to the bloodline attacking KO last week before Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga arrive while Paul Heyman stands waiting as the SUV pulls up. Heyman is absolutely scared shitless. Heyman initially doesn't go open the door for Solo, but then after a moment he says, "Oh yeah, I'll get the door." And when Solo gets out, he says, yes, he used to get the door for Roman, and now he'll get the door for him. And dude is just absolutely shitting bricks.
Like, don't hurt me, please.
Especially because the first thing Solo says is he asks if they've got drafted yet. And Heyman tells him no. Solo tells Heyman to give him all the details. Heyman goes on to tell Solo that Roman pulled himself from the draft, and with Solo adding new members to the bloodline, no one knows what they're getting when they draft the bloodline. At this point, Tama Tonga gets out of the SUV and comes walking around, and Heyman pisses himself a little, like, you ain't gonna tell me he didn't. I will not be convinced otherwise. But
just a little brown streak.
Yeah. Solo then tells Heyman to repeat that one more time. At this point, Kevin Owens comes running up from behind and attacks Solo and Tama Tonga as we head into a commercial break.
Kind of looked funny when KO kind of came out of nowhere to start attacking him. There's like having this promo and then, Kevin Owens is there. All right.
Yep. When we come back from the break, they announce that the total attendance tonight is 14,028, and they announce it as another sellout. I'm not sure if that would actually be a sellout or not. I mean, it's still five figures for attendance, so I would say they're doing good whether it's a sellout or not.
Mm-hmm.
We then get another flashback, this time to Kevin Owens attacking the bloodline prior to the break. So we just, took a flashback to 5 minutes ago.
Yep. In case you forgot.
Yeah, in case you forgot, or in case for those just joining us.
You got amnesia.
Yeah. Then Kayla Braxton interviews Bianca Belair. And when Bianca Belair is coming out, Wade Barrett calls her WWE's Caleb Williams and says she looks a hell of a lot better, to which Corey Graves agrees. Gotta say, so do I.
Yes.
Kayla congratulates Bianca on being the number 1 overall pick. Kayla then asks how satisfying a victory at Backlash over the Kabuki Warriors would be, and Bianca says that it would be very satisfying, and that she hopes that Jade gets drafted to SmackDown on Monday because Jade Cargill is not in the draft pool for SmackDown. Therefore, she would not be eligible to be drafted tonight. Bianca says that Damage Control is falling apart piece by piece, and the final piece is the tag titles. So when her and Jade take the titles, the Kabuki Warriors won't have a reason to show back up to SmackDown. The Kabuki Warriors then come out to interrupt and start yelling at Bianca in Japanese, which cue the storm, because Jade Cargill comes out and Asuka and Kairi Sane sell this great, looking like they've themselves.
I'm sensing a trend all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Breaks.
It helps build Jade up to be the big threat that they want to build her up to be. Having Asuka, who is already a well-established star, and Kairi Sane as well, a well-established star, and together the two of them, a well-established team, to have them kind of like cower for a second when Jade comes out, it just really helps bolster that, like, the threat of Jade Cargill. The two teams are arguing on the stage as Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga come brawling out from the back. KO and Tama head down to the ring, and they end up in the ring, and then Solo arrives to aid Tama. Solo takes over the assault while Tama Tonga fights off security. Now, have we seen this happen before? Where, like, they've actively fought off the, like, officials?
Like the refs or whatever?
Like, have we seen someone, like, post up specifically to fight off the officials who are coming to break up the real fight? I can't think of a time that we've seen that.
No.
Like, I know we've seen, like, Triple H, Shane McMahon, and He Who Shall Not Be Named coming down to the ring and just obliterating the security protecting Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and another He Who Shall Not Be Named. But, like, I don't know that we've seen a superstar just, like, post up ready to attack anybody who comes from the back to try and intervene. Like, they've been caught in the crossfire before. And
now
whatnot,
they are the crossfire.
But, like, Tama posted up with the expressed intent of fighting off any official who was going to try and break up this fight.
It's funny because you know how it ends, and you're just like, okay, don't go up there and fight the wrestler. Just fight the innocent security guards who have to come down and take a bump from you.
Right. These possible future NXT competitors.
Yeah.
I just saw a thing today that showed a picture of Trick Williams in 2019 acting as a Nigerian armed services member kind of thing with Apollo Crews. Like, he was standing as a guard for Apollo Crews, and now he's the NXT champion. So it's like, these guys always got to start out with these, like, almost weird degrading things to do unless they've built themselves up as such a massive star before coming to the company. Like, people that are working out.
He who shall not be named.
Oh yeah, don't say that he who shall not be named. I mean, we could just start calling him Voldemort. But I feel like that's an insult to Voldemort.
Is it though?
Yeah. So, Solo Sikoa is assaulting Kevin Owens. Tama Tonga's busy fighting off every bit of security that tries to end the assault. And who should come to make the save but one Randall Keith Orton? The Bloodline flees, which...
Okay.
yeah. Like, we're supposed to perceive them as a threat. They should have at least tried to fight for a little bit before just running away from one person.
They don't want the RKO out of nowhere.
I mean, it's
If you
fair,
come from
but
anywhere.
still. I guess Solo did try to fight, but then almost ate an RKO. I think it was Solo.
Pretty sure.
But KO gives RKO. See what I did there? See what you see?
Stop it.
Yeah, you saw.
Stop
You
it.
saw what I did there.
I didn't see it. I heard it.
Kevin Owens gives Randy Orton a hug, and then Kevin Owens tries to resume the fight, but security holds him and the Bloodline back. Now the Dudleys are here to announce the next round of picks, each of them with a separate brand. Kind of interesting. And it's time for a commercial break, because we haven't had enough yet. When we come back from the break, the Dudleys come out to thunderous applause and an EC dub chant. They also make the remark that they can't read their cards, so they pull out their classic Dudley glasses and put them on.
Much better.
Absolutely. So in round 3 of the draft, LA Knight gets drafted to SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricochet gets drafted to Raw. The Bloodline finally gets drafted to SmackDown. And Sheamus gets drafted to Raw with all his limes.
Yeah. His limes.
Yep, he's got too many of them.
Burger after burger.
But as stated before, full reaction will be a separate video. It's now time for Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi to determine the number 1 contender for Bayley's WWE Women's Championship. Naomi starts fast with a Luthez press, and she then takes Tiffany out to ringside, and we head into another commercial break. It's been like a whopping 5 minutes, man. We needed another one. When we come back, Tiffany Stratton gets a 2, and then Naomi rolls Tiffany up for a 2 of her own. Naomi gets another 2 count off of a head scissor pile driver. Bayley is on commentary, and she says that she hopes Damage Control stays on SmackDown. Both Tiffany and Naomi go for facebusters, so we end up with a double down. Naomi ends up getting up first and taking control. And then Nia Jax attacks Bayley at ringside. Wild. Absolutely wild. Just out of left field. Naomi tries to intervene once she realizes what's going on, but Nia takes her out, which causes another DQ finish around this title picture. It's kind of getting ridiculous.
Nobody gets the number 1.
Like, we're just doing DQ finish after DQ finish. Nia Jax then takes out Bayley, and Tiffany rolls Naomi and Bayley into the ring and hits them with the prettiest moonsault ever. We're then taken backstage, where the Street Profits and B-Fab are wondering where Bobby Lashley is. Byron Saxton comes up to talk to them about the title match next week against A-Town Down Under. And Montez Ford right away goes, "You're not Bobby." B-Fab says that it doesn't matter where they get drafted, because the Street Profits are going to beat A-Town Down Under next week and be right back on SmackDown. I think it's next week. Yeah, it's next week. I said that already. God, such a professional.
He has such a way with words.
Yeah.
And
Wait till you hear
crumbs.
my Drew McIntyre description from Monday night.
I don't know.
I tried to
If you
find the
can't even
picture.
spit it out.
I tried to find the picture to go along with it, but I couldn't find the picture that I was thinking of. So I'm hoping that when I say it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
You better.
A-Town Down Under interrupts, and Austin Theory says that you can't have SmackDown without the greatest undefeated champs of all time. Angelo Dawkins boos them, which is kind of funny.
Boo.
Grayson Waller then tells Dawkins, while pointing at his title, that this is a championship, something the Bengals know nothing about.
Damn, cutting
deep.
Yeah.
That gets Dawkins riled up. At this point, Bobby Lashley shows up out of nowhere like a Houdini from behind, and A-Town Down Under just dip. We then see that Teddy Long and JBL are here to announce the next round of picks. It's nice to see that Teddy Long is taking a break from stomping Austin Creed and Prince Pretty in Battle of the Brands. If you know, you know. Okay, now that I have a space to cut, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So, Xavier Woods, real name Austin Creed, and Tyler Breeze, who is still under WWE contract for Up, Up, Down, Down, but can do like indie show work for wrestling. It's like a special contract kind of thing. So they do, every year they have their Battle of the Brands series where they do GM mode. And up until this year, it's always just been 1v1, like player versus player, head to head, with no AI, like no computer players.
Yep.
And this year they decided to add in a computer player, and they put it on extreme difficulty, which is a new difficulty for this year. And they made it as Teddy Long, and Teddy Long's just been stomping them. So, yeah. We then head into a commercial break, and when we come back, the Final Testament has attacked New Catch Republic backstage. Just odd. Karrion Kross basically just says, whatever brand we end up on, expect this.
So NXT?
I wish, man. Final Testament should have been should have just been sent down to NXT. But the follow-up to this attack does occur on NXT.
Yep.
Which we know this because we are recording this on Wednesday, May 1st. Yeah, just a little bit behind.
But that's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine. It's cool.
It's fresh.
It's fresh.
It's new.
No, it's not fresh
and new. Roman. Anywho, the fourth round picks are AJ Styles, drafted to SmackDown, Alpha Academy, drafted to Raw, Andrade, drafted to SmackDown, and NXT's Kiana James,
she's
drafted
next
to Raw. She was next. Goldberg is jealous.
He's getting very upsetty.
We then cut to the Performance Center, where Kiana James gets interviewed, and she says that she's ready to show Raw why she's the 1%. And I'm just looking at her wondering when she became a Hell's Angel. We then get a flashback to Trick Williams winning the NXT Championship by defeating the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov. And then we head into another commercial break.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah, border. When we come back, Caleb Braxton is interviewing Nick Aldis. He says that he likes his picks and has a few matches to announce for Backlash. He announces that the WWE Women's Championship will be defended in a triple threat match featuring Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and the defending champion Bayley. And then he says he's going to let the GOAT announce the next one, and he passes it over to Teddy Long. Teddy announces that it will be the Bloodline versus RKO. See what I did there? I made another tag team name.
They should make it sound like a stutter. RKO.
Nah. I mean, we did RK Bro. Surely they can just do R-KO.
RKO.
Nah. But
After like the Aussie thing. KO.
that would be kind of funny. But after Teddy Long makes that announcement, Corey Graves, and Wade Barrett joke about Teddy's love of tag matches and making people face The Undertaker. I love that. I love that.
You'll go on one-on-one with
The
Undertaker.
Holla holla, player.
Holla.
We get a Uncle Howdy tease during the graphic showing who is in Monday night's draft pool. And then we get the announcements for next week, which will be the New Catch Republic versus the Authors of Pain, the Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under for the World Tag Team Championships, my bad. And we'll get the first ever RKO show. See, it works.
Stop it.
Never.
Damn it. Stop it. Right
Absolutely not. It's now time for the main event. Carmelo Hayes versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
It's a back and forth start before we go into another commercial break. When we come back, Cody has control. We get some back and forth chops in the corner before Carmelo Hayes gets a 2 count off of a DDT from the second turnbuckle. Cody then gets a 2 off of a disaster kick. He gets another 2 off of a power slam. And then Hayes kicks out at 2 after a Cody cutter. Both guys miss a springboard nothing, which leads us to a double down for the moment. And then Cody Rhodes gets the win after getting up first and hitting a crossroads on Carmelo Hayes. In the post-match, Cody goes on to show Carmelo Hayes some respect. And while Cody is celebrating, he comes down off the turnbuckle and sees that AJ Styles is right there, primed and ready to attack him, but he turned just in time. And AJ Styles kind of motions like he just in time. And then they stand.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit. And the show closes with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes standing face to face. And they shake hands. So, all in all, I think it did what it needed to do. Although it had a very... I guess I don't know that it necessarily had the full go-home show feel. But it felt like it was kind of like halfway a go-home show. Which they still have to do the go-home show. Which will be in France as well. The night before the PLE, which WWE Backlash live from Lyon, France, will be Saturday, like midday-ish. So I'll be watching that at work.
Don't forget your baguettes.
Definitely. So I'm just out here hoping that Boss Man doesn't show up on Saturday so that I can just like set my phone up and waste 4 hours of my day watching that.
Work? What's work?
Hey, as long as I meet quota, they won't know anything. That concludes the Smackdown recap. I've been Dylan Graves. He's been John Sutton. This has been WrestleRecap. If you want to support WrestleRecap, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can comment down below. Tell us how bad we're doing. Tell us how good we're doing. That'd make me feel pretty good, but it probably ain't going to happen. You can also find us on Facebook at WrestleRecap. You can find us on X at WrestleRecapYT. You can click the link to go to the next video. But until next time, we'll see you later.